Hey, welcome back to Turntable Guy. On the bench today, we have a beautiful Akai AP-005. This deck has been in my possession for well over a month now because of the Canadian postal strike. I had a quick diagnosis of it when it came in, and we'll go over that in a second. And the parts that I ordered from the US have been sitting in limbo because of the strike. Now, a couple of weeks ago or so, what happened is the union decided that they're going to go on rotating strikes and get the mail moving again. And we're all very thankful about that because it's a pain in the butt when you can't get stuff in the mail that you've ordered. And because this gentleman shipped it via USPS, it's going to automatically go to Canada Post. But the parts are here, and we are going to repair this today. So when it came in, the gentleman mentioned that the belt was no longer staying on the motor. Well, what he noticed is that it wasn't spinning right, making a lot of noise. So I had a quick look at it when he dropped it off. These are gorgeous, by the way. I believe they're semi-automatic. Yeah, they must be semi-automatic or full automatic. Actually, this is a full automatic. It's got the dial for record size. Yeah, so I had a quick look at it, and I noticed that the motor was sagging, and it was seriously sagging. Now, that's pretty common on decks of this age, especially if the rubber is a specific kind of rubber that tends to crystallize and squish down over time. Some motor mounts, they last quite a bit longer, but this one here, I don't know what I did with the belt. Oh, the belt's in there. This one here, it's really bad. So I'm gonna show you quickly. Now, like I was saying, this thing's gorgeous. What I love about this table is that the platter sits flush with the rest of the plinth. So it's got this very European look to it. It's just a beautiful table. It's got a nice heavy platter on it. Here's our belt, which is good. And I know it's difficult to see because you're only seeing this in 2D, but these mounts are completely squashed, and you can see how I can kind of move them around with my fingers. Actually, I'll just destroy one so you can see that. Totally dead. Nothing left. So, yeah. So to take care of that problem, we have these. That's the part number from Voice of Music in Michigan. So VM3694, I think that's an 8. And you need 3 of them for this motor. There they are. I'll give him a shout out because great place to buy turntable parts, especially for Americans, because I'm sure the shipping will be a lot cheaper. To ship it up to Canada was ridiculously crazy. I mean, the mounts themselves, I think they're $1 each. But it was $22 US just to get it across the border, which is just nuts, eh? So there you go. We're going to give this thing a full service. Spindle feels tight, and we're going to have to get this motor out, service the motor, get the mounts changed, and then give this thing a test. It's got a... this thing's very clean, by the way. It's got an original... If I can just get this off here. It's got the original cartridge on it, which is the AT-10 family. So it could be an AT-10, 11, or 12. I think based on the white stylus. Don't quote me on this. Is it a 10? I'm not sure. I'd have to look. I'd have to remove it, but I'm not going to because it's set up for perfect alignment. And that's a really cool looking head shell. That's how it came from the factory. That's the original Akai head shell, which is pretty neat. Well, actually, we're going to keep this off because we have to flip the turntable. And we'll take off our counterweight as well. And what I'll do here is I'm going to get this thing flipped over and moved. Something else you should see here is that the entire thing is suspended. And it's suspended from the base. So the base sits flat, and then the top part of the chassis floats. So you've got that type of suspension on here. Really nice turntable. Akai made beautiful turntables, and they made their own back in the 70s. Just gorgeous units. Pleasure to work on as well. So let me get this thing flipped over and dismantled, and I shall be right back. I've got the base off. I think before we actually flip the table over. And by the way, to remove the base, it's just 3 locking screws, and then they just kind of twist over, and then the base just comes right off. And just to show you, that's the base, and it's just these 3 locking kind of clamps here, and then right there, you just you loosen the screw here, and then you just move this over, and then the turntable just sits back on here. The springs sit on these 4 posts here. Anyway, so very simple to get out, but it looks like we're probably going to need to remove these clips before we do anything as far as the motor's concerned. And we have to get those out from the top, and you can see the melting clamps, or the melting mounts here. It's almost like Play-Doh right now. Let's see, you can see it there, chunks of it falling off. So that was the motor mount. Terrible. I've got my this is a screwdriver I use to remove bearings on tone arms. It's just a flat screwdriver with a notch cut out in the middle, and allows you to get at those types of screws. And that's the same kind of screws that's here. The stud locker is kind of making it tough, but it looks like all we need to do is to unscrew this. Kind of remember it was mostly flat with the, where the hell did that go now? No, there it is. I think I just saw it go in there. Well, I'll have to find that in a moment. And it was mostly flat with the top of the screw here and the remnants of the mount. I think our motor will drop out now. Yeah, it will. Here it comes. Very good. There's our screw. Where'd you go? Okay, I'm going to find that. That's kind of important. So this is really difficult to film. Actually, I did find the little screw. Or is it it's a nut? Yeah, really difficult to film. Just to give you an idea of these mounts and how bad they are. And I will show you the new ones. So that's what they look like. We have another one of these here. So I probably went like that. Yeah, they completely melted away. That's what's left of them. Well, without those, your motor is going to sag something fierce, and your belt is not going to stay on. Okay, our new mounts are in, and you want them where they're, this is obviously the bottom side of the turntable. You want to install them from the top and just get the little, there's a little groove in them that needs to go where the plinth is. And then you want the top portion, the pointed portion on the top side of the turntable, because you want the motor, when you put it in, to sag down onto the mounts, and that's going to act like a shock absorber. So that's where it would sit, and then the clips will go in. Let's go back in the mount and we'll get the clips in, and then we'll service the main spindle. I've already put a drop of motor on the back side, on the lower bearing here of the motor, and it spins beautifully. And we'll put a drop on the top side. I've already taken the screw out of this so we can pull that out. There's a look at the all metal construction. Can you imagine how much it would cost to manufacture something like this in today's dollars? Something of this quality? Kind of boggles the mind. So I'll meet you back up top. Okay, our motor's sitting nicely where we can get our clips back on. Start with this one. This one's the toughest. It's a tight fit for your fingers. And you can see how I mentioned that you want the slanted portion on the top, obviously, because the motor is going to sag down and it's going to hang off the soft rubber and absorb any vibrations. If you had them the other way, it's just going to sit flat and it's really not going to absorb the vibrations of the motor and turntable. So you want them like this. Plus, you need the motor in the correct spot for your speed arm to be in the correct portions of the pulley for 33 and 45. And now we'll install this last nut here, and I'm going to put it where it came out. So you just saw the top of the threads just sticking through the top of this nut right there, where you can't screw it down anymore because, oh, there goes the thread locker. So I'm going to see if that's good. Make sure the motor's nice and level. Okay, so that looks great. So now the motor is hanging correctly. Oh yeah, that's where it belongs. It's suspended again, so you can just see how the rubber acts like a shock absorber for the motor, which is fantastic. We'll give it a drop of oil while we're here. It's all lubricated. I'm going to clean it as well. And now we're going to do our center spindle. I've removed the screw from the bottom. Looks like somebody has serviced this in the past, because what I can see here is a grease at the top, and then this is oil, and then there's grease in here. So someone has been adding oil to the top of this bearing, and that's fine. You can add it just by squeezing a little bit of oil right at the top here. You put a couple drops in it once a year. That'll work fine. But we're going to change what's in there just because I'm sure it's been in there for a very long time. So I'm just going to give this a cleaning. I'll clean it with alcohol as well. One of the most important things you can do for your turntable. And you can see the old grease right there, right at the top, because that's what happens. Grease tends to migrate to the top. And that's why I prefer an oil over a grease. So you can just see it right here. And it's quite sticky now. It might require a little bit more of an aggressive cleaning. I'll probably take this to the sink and wash it with a degreaser. Excuse my head, I'm going to check for a ball bearing. Yeah, there's something in there. Whether or not it comes out is the question. Not yet. So I am going to go and scrub this. What I use is I use a little bit of a degreaser and toothbrush, and I just scrub the top there and get all the old greases off. So I'm going to do that, and I shall be right back. All right, we're going to clean out our bearing. A little bit of alcohol on a Q-tip. Just want to clean out. That's pretty dirty. Like I said, I think what's been happening here is previous owner was just adding oil to the bearing, and that's fine. But it's always good to clean out the old lubricant first. And in this case, I can't seem to get that ball bearing out. I really do want to flush out the bottom of the bearing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove the nut here. I'm going to take the bearing with me, and I'm going to rinse it out with some alcohol over the sink. Okay, there we go. So what you can do, so this has got a, look at the construction on this. It's got a big washer on the bottom, big washer on the top, just beautifully built. Is put some alcohol in here, or a degreaser and just clean it out with another Q-tip, wash it, dry it, and clean it with alcohol, and then we'll relube it. I'll be right back. Okay, because this had a greasing factory, I'm going to use some Masters lubricating oiler here. It's a little bit of a thicker bearing oil. It's good stuff. Four drops in there, and just a little bit on the actual spindle itself. Now this bearing has a little hole for pressure relief if you overfilled it. Roll it down, and that feels fantastic. Went all the way, and then we'll put the screw in to retain it. And I'm going to go about putting this back together. Okay, welcome back. You can just see in there, I've reinstalled the platter and the belt. And I'm just going to start it up. The belt sits right in between the speed changer lever. So we're just going to start this up. And this is a fully automatic turntable, so it is going to swing out. I've got the queuing up. But I know it's impossible to see with the flashing hole going by, but we have no noise. We have no scraping. Our platter is perfectly parallel to our plinth, and table's running just wonderfully. Let's hit cut here. Should go back. This has got a motor that actually runs the auto return on this thing. So what a stunner, eh? Like as far as looks are concerned, this thing is just gorgeous. I absolutely adore this flat platter, this flat look. It looks very Bang & Olufsen, very nice. But anyway, that's as far as I'm going to go here. I've got a few more things I need to take care of here. This video wasn't really about servicing these tables. It was more about how you replace those motor mounts, and you can just see our motor mounts there. Back up and focus a little bit, and the motor's got just enough suspension where it's not making any noise, and the rubber mounts are taking up all the shock absorption on this table, which is fantastic. So there you go. That's how you replace your motor mounts on an Akai AP-005. As far as servicing is concerned, not a lot to do on this one. A couple drops on the motor, and we did the spindle together, and you're pretty much good to go. These things should last a lifetime. They're built like a tank. All metal construction. Absolutely fantastic. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.